Hey, welcome to another episode of the Entrepreneur Coach podcast. I'm the Entrepreneur Coach, Bree Seeley. Today's episode is super special because I not only get to share with you a story of an incredibly audacious entrepreneur who rapidly grew her business on her terms, but it happens to be a past client of mine. Working with her brought such joy to my heart, and I cannot wait to share with you everything we did in her business that you can learn from and apply in your business. So today I'm going to introduce you to Mae, who when she came to me had taken over an already successful financial management franchise, but she wasn't satisfied. The business was not designed to fit her, and it was causing her to have to be someone she wasn't. Fast forward 8 months, her new client investable assets were increasing 5-fold every month consistently since hiring me. She was on track to give herself a 28% raise plus a raise for her assistant, and her business was growing 4 times faster than the average rate for her industry, all while spending more time with her kids, prioritizing her physical and mental health, and truly thriving in her business. She found a way to get out of the overworking and underliving cycle, and her business skyrocketed. So stay tuned for the entire episode so you can learn how we did it and what you can apply in your business to help you accelerate your success without sacrificing yourself in the process. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Coach podcast. I'm the Entrepreneur Coach, Bree Seeley. My mission is to help female entrepreneurs like you have the audacity to believe in the inevitability of your success, then to gather the resources, tools, and knowledge you need to create your most aligned and profitable pathway to your vision of success. This podcast is all about providing you with a nitty-gritty behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Forget the success porn and the rags to riches stories. Each episode will pull back the curtain and share the reality of entrepreneurship. I cannot wait to be part of your journey. So I think the hardest thing that entrepreneurs face when they're looking to rapidly grow their business is that there's no one-size-fits-all model. Don't get me wrong, we would all love a silver bullet to be able to reach our goals without all the work, but that is not how it works. The most important part of this episode is not for you to do what Mae did, but to see where in your business you are making similar mistakes and to have the courage to do something about it. I have a free resource for you that I'm going to mention throughout the episode. Make sure you grab it because it's going to walk you through this entire process. As I mentioned before, when Mae came to me, she had taken over an already successful financial management franchise. The problem was the past owner did not operate the way that Mae needed to operate to be successful. He was more concerned about quantity rather than quality. He worked endless hours. He was very sterile and very corporate. He maintained arm's length relationships with all of his customers. So when Mae came to me, she'd been trying to operate the business how she should operate it, but it just wasn't working for her. She was getting more and more and more frustrated, and it was taking her further and further and further away from her goals and her vision, and ultimately away from herself, because she was overworking and underliving with no idea how to get back on track. She was trying to be someone she was not. Now, what I love about Mae's story is that she started by first getting super clear on herself. She evaluated her values, envisioned her perfect day, got honest with herself about what had to go, and committed to her version of greatness. Her version of greatness, not anyone else's. The first thing in this process that you need to look at is you. What are your core values? What's your vision? What do you want each and every day to look and feel like? Mae's values centered all around her family. She had 2 young children, and she was super afraid of missing out on their milestones. Her vision was to be one of the top women in her franchise nationwide. She wanted each day to feel connected with herself, her family, and her clients. And she wanted to be purposeful and impactful. She only wanted to work limited hours, but she wanted a full-time client roster. That was not the business she bought. So she had a choice. She could have kept doing what she'd been doing, what the previous owner had been doing. Or she could prioritize herself, her priorities, and her family. Obviously, spoiler alert, she chose the latter. The next steps we took in her journey were to then evaluate and adjust. If the business she had was not the business she wanted, What needed to change? Now, before we jump into this, we're going to take a quick break so I can share with you that resource that I mentioned earlier that is designed to help you with this exact process that Mae went through. So I will be right back. Pardon the interruption as we take a brief break before bringing you back to our episode. Are you an entrepreneur who feels like you're running a marathon on a hamster wheel each day, but you'd really rather be swimming with the pigs in the Bahamas or having breakfast with the giraffes in Africa? You're getting okay results in your business, but you're ready for exceptional results. It's time to hit the reset button to give your business a makeover and evolve into your next level of entrepreneurship. I want to invite you into the Reset, a 5-day business makeover to evolve your business from acceptable to exceptional. Visit breesealy.com/reset to get free access to this resource that will forever change the trajectory of your business. All right. So if you're not operating the business you want, what needs to change? What needs to go? What needs to stay? And what needs to be added? Now we're going to talk about what Mae did on both a personal level and a business level to evaluate and adjust her business. Business-wise, because she wanted to work fewer hours, we needed to change her client journey. Instead of having a lot of clients who invested small amounts of money with her, she needed fewer clients who invested larger amounts of money with her. You have probably heard me or other business experts say that 20% of your business is currently creating 80% of your results. Now, if 20% of Mae's clients were producing 80% of the results, how could she double down on those clients to decrease her output and increase her input? So Mae spent a few months focusing on deepening her relationships with her client database. Want to know what happened? Her clients that were already working with her gave her more money to invest. So this not only lessened her time in terms of her client working hours, this also lessened her time spent trying to get new clients. Because then not only were her current clients giving her more money to invest, they all began to refer new clients to her as well. And new clients that were aligned with that 20%. As I mentioned earlier, her new client investable assets increased 5-fold every month consistently. Now, she did not increase her client size 5-fold. She increased her new investable assets. Do you see the difference between the two? She didn't 5x her client database. She maintained her client database and 5x'd her investable assets. Mae reached her first 7-figure month of new investable assets, and her business just kept getting easier. So what does this look like for you? What is your 20%? What is currently creating 80% of the results in your business? Now, I will say, if you do not like what is currently creating 80% of the results in your business, what do you want to be creating 80% of the results in your business? This could be a number of things. It could be your revenue streams. It could be your client avatars. It could be your marketing efforts. I am currently going through this process and narrowing my focus on my client avatar because I'm not here to serve everyone. I'm here to serve the most ambitious entrepreneurs with the most unrealistic goals. That's my 20% that I'm really narrowing in on right now. What is your 20%? Now, the next question always becomes, do you have the courage to let go of the 80% that isn't getting you the results you want? Mae had to let go of transactional relationships. She had to let go of the corporate vibe. She had to let go of sacrificing herself for her business, and it paid off big time. Not only did she get better results that I just shared with you, she also got to give herself a year after year after year raise. Can you imagine giving yourself a 28% raise every year? That's what Mae did. I don't know about you. I do not know a single corporation that gives its employees a 28% raise year after year after year after year. Most corporations give a 1 to 2 to 3% raise annually. 28%. 28%. Imagine that. Now let's talk about Mae's personal life. Personally, Mae needed to come back to her. She had been trying so hard to fit herself into the financial advisor mold and turned off all of the parts of herself that weren't professional enough. She built herself a meditation nook in her office. She began incorporating oracle cards into her team meetings and her morning practice. She began to nurture herself and her needs. She started a ridiculous personal training regimen. She brought art back into her life, writing poetry, drawing, watercolors. All of these things also allowed her to be a better leader. She was empowering her assistant more, which also allowed her more time with her kids. Her business expanded massively because she had the courage to choose herself. She put her and her family needs at the forefront. When she was taken care of, her business could be better taken care of. She was a better leader. She was a better service provider. She was more present in her business when she was in her business. Empowering her assistant helped her to do less of the tedious tasks so that when she was in the office, she could really focus on the revenue generating tasks. So what do you need that you're just not currently getting from your business? What are you doing in your business that is taking away from your success and alignment? Who are you being in your business that you think you have to be successful? Do you have the courage to let go of what you should be doing in your business or who you think you should be to succeed so that you can come back to yourself and thrive in your business? This is your invitation to refocus on what's working and get rid of what's not. This is going to help you to step into being the CEO of your business and truly, truly thriving without overworking and underliving. So today we walk through this 3-part flow using Mae's journey of accelerating her business. I illustrated for you what it looked like for her to go from overworked, missing out on time with her family, with a mediocre business, into the business and life of her dreams. In Mae's own words, the biggest change in my life is a greater sense of comfort in who I really am, not who I thought I was. I had this perception of what made me good at what I did, and I realized that's not all of me. Bree encouraged me to delve deeper into my truth and embrace my vulnerability. I feel so much more confident in my vision, which has resulted in massive expansion in my business. I've been getting clients left and right out of nowhere. My new client investable assets have increased 5-fold every month consistently since hiring Bree. I am on track to give myself a 28% raise so far this year. So if you're looking to grow your business 4 times faster than the national average while giving yourself significant year after year raises, while building a trustworthy and competent team around you, while getting to spend more time with your loved ones, while getting to explore your passions and your hobbies more, not only was this episode for you, so is the reset. Now, as I've mentioned, the reset uses this exact flow to help you get clarity, evaluate what is and is not working, and to make adjustments to both your business and your personal life, your structure, your operations, etc., so that you can stop overworking and underliving and actually enjoy the life that you've built for yourself. You can grab this training for free by visiting breesealy.com/reset. It is also all in the show notes. I am so excited to see you achieving all of your most unrealistic goals this year. And if it feels like it's not happening, this episode has just shown you that all it takes is some adjustment, some redesign to get you back on track. Nothing is impossible. You are not incapable. Your vision is not too big. You do not have to deprioritize yourself to build it. I believe in you and your delusional dreams. Let's build them together. Until next week, I am the Entrepreneur Coach. Don't forget to share this episode and tag me on socials. I'd love to feature you on my accounts, and I will share every tag I receive. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you again next week. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Entrepreneur Coach podcast. I hope you gained valuable wisdom from this episode and have at least one thing you can act on today. As I always say, listening to this episode will not change your life. What you do afterwards will. Please be sure to leave a rating and a review of the show, and don't forget to share this episode with a friend or colleague who could use it. Last but not least, please have the audacity to believe in the inevitability of your success today. You deserve it.